What's good? It's DJ Fury from DJFuryBeats.com. So today I want to talk about a good microphone for you to use when you just starting your studio. So for me, I started off using a MXL 990. Now this was back in the day. From there I upgraded to a Samson CO1. Um, I used that for a while. That's a pretty good mic. Now that's a cheap mic. That's about, I like that a lot better than the MXL 990. Now you can actually get some good recordings with that, but I wouldn't recommend like the MXL. But the Samsung CO1 is pretty good. If you're on a tight budget, it's like a $90 microphone. It sounds pretty good. Only thing is it's a little bit too harsh. It's a cheaper mic, so that's what you can expect. Cheaper components always in a cheaper mic. So a lot of those Chinese capsules they sound a little bit harsh on the top. The cheap ones anyways. Um, now after that I upgraded to a Gauge ECM 47. And that's like a clone recreation of the Telefunken slash Neumann U47. Now it didn't sound like the U47 in my opinion from when I did use it back in school, but it was pretty good. It's a really just say you got a singer with a lot of highs in their voice, a little bit too high. It's a good mic for that because to me it's a little bit dark. So I wouldn't recommend that just for just say if you had one mic, you start in your studio, you only got one mic to go to. I wouldn't go with that one just because it takes so much work to get the highs out of it. And as far as recording goes, you don't want to be actually trying to add things to make your mic sound better. You know what I'm saying? Like you want it to sound as good as possible going into your recording as possible, pretty much. So a good mic to go with, like right now, I'm using. See, I can see this. Yeah, so this is what I'm using right here. Now this is the blueberry. Now I did talk about this mic in my first video. It's a pretty good mic. Now it doesn't have like the super low lows, but as far as a vocal goes, it's a perfect vocal mic. Now it's just cardioid, one polar pattern. That's all you need, and especially you doing like rap vocals, R&B stuff like that. Now this is a great mic for that, especially like female vocals or like female singing and all of that. It's perfect for that. Now it's pretty good for male vocals too. It does have enough depth in it to get a good like rap vocal out of it. I wish it did have like a little bit, more lows on it, but as far as the highs, it's like already has like a nice bump in the highs without it being harsh. So like I said, like you work your way up, get a more expensive mic, better components. They're not as harsh on the top end. Um, this is like $1,000 mic. I got this one on sale from Sweetwater. It was like $100 off. I think it was like slightly used, but it still came with a year warranty from Sweetwater. So yeah, that was pretty good. Um, if you don't have the budget for this one, you could go with the Bluebird. Now I do have that mic too. I don't have it in the studio with me. I am letting somebody borrow that one right now. But yeah, that's a nice mic too. It doesn't have the bump in the highs like this one does, and like overall, it just doesn't have um, the same quality as this one. But I actually like my favorite mic that I used to use just when I was at going to SAE in Atlanta was the Blue. Like I'm a Blue fanboy. Like I love Blue mic just because you can like if you don't have like a great preamp and stuff like that, this is a great mic for that because it pretty much sounds good on anything. Now it sounds better when you put it through a good preamp, but like just if you know what I'm saying, like if you are on a budget, you want a nice sound from your microphone, a Blue mic is perfect to go with. But like I was saying, when I was going to SAE in Atlanta, um I used to use the big brother of this one, which is the Blue Kiwi. Now the Blue Kiwi is probably to me the best solid state mic you can get. I would pick that one over the U87 any day. I used to use the U87 back in school. I wasn't that impressed by it. It's like it's a really like say let me say like boring sounding mic. Now a boring sounding mic, it's like kind of plain. Like it don't really have a lot of character to it. Let's just say that. But that could be a good thing too, because if it doesn't have a lot of character, that means you could add a lot of character, like using your plugins and whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just like filming. You know what I'm saying? Like how if you would film, a lot of people use like the neutral tone when they film and go back so they can add all of the color or whatever to it. So like a U87 is the same way. It's kind of a like a bland sounding mic, like real plain, not a lot of character to it, but you can add whatever because it does sound good and it does have all the frequencies you need and it's not harsh, none of that. So yeah, but to me, I used to love the Blue Kiwi. Now the Blue Kiwi, like I said, probably the best sounding solid state mic in my opinion. And it's like $1,000 cheaper than a Norman U87 too. But yeah, what I was going back to when I was at school, I used to use that mic every time to do our recording project and stuff like that. One day, somebody had checked it out. It was crazy because like nobody loved that mic as much as I did, so it'll always be there. Everybody always get the U87, or they would get like the AKG mics or stuff like that. But that mic was gone, and like man, like the only thing left they had, only mic they had left in there, because this was like towards the end. Like towards the end, like if anybody been to SAE, you got to get those two projects in at the end. You got to get your Neve project in. You got to get your SSL project in at the same time. So yeah, like I'm rambling on, but yeah, go back to what I was saying. All the mics were checked out. The only thing left was the Bluebird. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the cheapest mic. Like that's the mic. That's the first mic they let us use. Like when you just start off recording, like they give you the Bluebird, just so you know what I'm saying. Like why would they give you a good mic? You don't know what you're doing yet. You know what I'm saying? So they give you that to start out with. But yeah, that was the only thing that was left, and I ran it straight through the board. Like we didn't have a lot of outboard gear, but I was on the Neve. I was on my Neve project. I ran the Bluebird straight through the Neve, and it sounded pretty good. Like it impressed me to only be like a $400 mic. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like so, if you can't afford the $1,000, Blueberry, go with something like a Bluebird. I never used the Spark, but I heard that was pretty good. The Baby Bottle, stuff like that. You can go with one of those, but like, because the most important thing is going to be like technique. You know what I'm saying? So if you listen to me talk, you can hear how this proximity effect comes in. The closer I get, and the farther I go away, it goes away. So mic placement, that's one of the best things you can do as far as tracking in goes, because like I said, you probably gonna be starting out, you're gonna be tracking in. So just having the mic at a good distance away from your mic, from your mouth, is a good way to get a good recording in that's not too harsh and is not too boomy. Like this mic right here, a lot of recordings been done with this. This is the Shure Beta SM58, but like they would use the actual the wired version. This is just the wireless version. Like Michael Jackson used to use this mic because it has a lot of depth to it, and not a lot of highs. Like so, for somebody who has a real sibilant voice, like this is a great mic for them because it'll give them that depth that they need, and they can handle the highs with, because the sibilance in their voice they have already. So if you were stuck with like a mic just like this, you can hear how boomy it is. It's gonna be a lot like more boomy than a like a condenser. But if you just say you got to use a dynamic mic like this, just try to work with your singer rapper and get that perfect distance away, because you can get something like just like this, how I am right here, and get the levels the way you want them to be, and then go in with your EQ and your all your effects and all that, and get a nice recording out of this. Because just me listening to it right now, I can tell I could get a good recording with it. So what it boils down to is like, man, your techniques and skills is gonna be the most important thing starting off with your studio, because you might not be able to afford a preamp or a compressor yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, but just getting in there, watch some good tutorials, um, learn about what these preamps, compressor, like learn all this stuff. Like, what does it do? Like, just don't go on and get you just don't buy you like a template. Like, just don't buy you like a Logic template or a Pro Tools template, and just, you know what I'm saying, because every song you record is gonna sound different. That's the one of the main problems with having a template, as far as especially like using presets on your compressors. Like, you can use presets when it comes to like serial effects. Like, serial effects are like doublers, reverbs, delays, stuff like that. All of that stuff you can use presets on. But when it comes to your dynamic effects, like your compressor, EQ, like, you don't want to just use presets, because nobody record is pretty much, they never gonna come in at the same level. And EQ and compressors are really based on levels going in. So you need to learn about how these components works. What's the threshold? What's the release? What's the attack? And how does it relate to what I got? You know what I'm saying? What I recorded. Where to use it and how much of it to use, and not using too much. Like, that's the stuff you need to get down first. All of the other things, they'll come later on. So, like I said, just get fluent with learning about how this stuff works, because a lot of videos on YouTube, some of them will start with right at the beginning, but it's a lot better. You'll find a lot more content with people who give away a lot of game for people who know a little bit already. Cause that's like the sweet spot for YouTube. Is like, once you learn the basics, that's when you go in there and get some sauce. You get what I'm saying? So learn that first. Like I said, learn your techniques, how to get that great vocal mic placement to get a better recording without having to worry about using EQ or compression. You know what I'm saying? And controlling your sessions. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your rapper, he not all over the place with the mic, because somebody doing this is nothing you can do to fix that recording. You know what I'm saying? So get all of that stuff down first, and then worry about other things like getting a more expensive microphone, adding outboard gear, all that. But yeah, quick video today. I just want to give y'all a little bit of game. I said I was gonna do this, help you out, help you save money, because that mic placement, stuff like that, that's stuff that don't cost you anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, just learning about your effects that you have built in, like, like any DAW is gonna come with built-in compressor, is gonna come with built-in EQs. Just learning how to use that stuff first and getting a decent mix out of that's gonna take you a lot further than just spending money for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted help y'all out a little bit. This is really for my first time engineers for real, like somebody who just want to start their business, because like I was saying in my first video, it's a lot of money that you can make from being an engineer. You just have to take it seriously, pay attention to detail, love music for one thing, just hey, like, your first couple sessions, you just bought some equipment, you want to use it. Don't worry about charging people, man. Just get folks in there, give them a free session. Use that session to get better. And you know what I'm saying? And listen to professional songs, see how they're done, see if you can make it match up, see if you can make your vocal sound like theirs, all kind of stuff like that. Like, just, you need the material more than you need the money right now. So just keep working, keep going, and I'll be back at y'all. All right.